Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Ardihapa and today I will discuss to you the classification of cakes. But before that, let's have an activity. I prepare a picture of cake. The picture will pop up in your screen and you will tell me what is the name of cake. Our first picture. Are you familiar with this cake? So what is the name of this cake? If your answer is chiffon cake, you are correct. How about this one? Can you guess the name of this cake? If your answer is black forest cake, you are correct. How about this one? If your answer is Swiss roll, you are correct. How about this one? If your answer is chocolate cake, you are correct. For the last picture, can you guess the name of this cake? If your answer is banana cake, you are correct. Before we proceed to our main discussion, let me present to you the objectives of our lesson. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to identify the classification of cakes, compare the different types of cakes, and demonstrate the procedure of preparing cake. First, let's define cake. Cake is a form of sweet food made from flour, sugar, and other ingredients that is usually baked. The basic ingredients in cakes includes flour, sugar, eggs, butter or oil, and leavening agents such as baking soda and baking powder. Now, let's proceed to our main discussion about classification of cakes. There are three classification of cakes. Those are shortened cake, unshortened cake, and chiffon cake. First, let's tackle about shortened cake. Shortened cake is also known as conventional or cream cakes. This uses solid type of shortening like margarine and butter. If the fat is butter, the ingredients are usually combined using the creaming method, which means that the soft butter and sugar are beaten together in an electric mixer to partially dissolve the sugar and to incorporate some air. Then the dry and wet ingredients are added in alternating doses. The best butter cakes have a moist buttery richness tempered by lightness. Some examples of shortened cake are red velvet cake, cheesecakes, banana cake, and chocolate brownies. The method of mixing that are being used in this type of cakes are creaming and whipping. The second one is unshortened cake or foam sponge cake. Unshortened cake are cakes made without the addition of fat or shortening. This cake do not include fat such as butter or oil, and it doesn't use leaveners like baking powder. Instead, volume is created by whipping the eggs or egg whites. However, the success of this method depends on not deflating the eggs after whipping them. There are two basic types of unshortened cake. Those are yellow sponge cakes and white angel cakes. Yellow sponge cakes are made of whole eggs, egg whites separated from egg yolks. Example of yellow sponge cakes are sponge roll and sponge round cake. White angel cakes are made with egg whites only. Example of this cake are angel food cake, sponge roll, and meringue. The methods that are being used in these cakes are beating and cutting and folding. The last one is chiffon cake. Chiffon cake is a combination of shortened and sponge type cakes. This uses liquid shortening such as vegetable oil and corn oil. Egg whites are separated from egg yolks. The classic chiffon cakes is kinds of a cross between shortened cake and sponge cake. It includes baking powder and vegetable oil, but the eggs are separated and the whites are beaten to soft peaks before being folded into the batter. This creates a cake with a tender crumb and rich flavor like a shortened cake, but with a lighter textures that's more like a sponge cake. Chiffon cakes can be baked in tube pans like angel food cakes or layered with fillings and frostings. Example of chiffon cakes are orange chiffon cake, vanilla chiffon cake, jelly roll, and Swiss roll. The methods that are being used in these cakes are beating and cutting and folding. Can you recall the three classification of cakes? The three classification of cakes are shortened cake, unshortened cake, and chiffon cake. So, for the last part of this lecture, I will demonstrate to you how to make chocolate cake, one of the sample recipes in shortened cake. Here are the needed ingredients. And for chocolate frosting, here are the needed ingredients. Step 1. In a large bowl, whisk together the sugar, flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. In mixing dry ingredients, we use wire whisk to incorporate air. Step 2. In another large bowl, whisk together the eggs, coffee, milk, oil, and vanilla extract. In here, we use liquid shortening, which is oil. The benefits of using oil instead of butter is that it keeps the cake soft even when refrigerated. Step 3. Add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and stir or whisk until combined. Question. What is the mixing method demonstrated in preparing chocolate cake? A. Muffin method. B. One bowl method. C. Conventional method. If your answer is one bowl method, you are correct. One bowl method is done by sifting and mixing the dry ingredients in one bowl. Make a well at the center of the dry ingredients and pour all the liquid ingredients. Mix until all of the ingredients are well blended. Step 4. Grease the pan with oil. Then line the bottoms of the pans with parchment paper. Greasing the pan with oil and putting parchment paper on it will prevent the cake mixture to stick in the pan. Step 5. Evenly divide the batter between the two pans and bake in a preheated oven for about 27 to 32 minutes or until a toothpick inserted into the center of the cake just comes out clean. Question. How can we know that the cake is done? A. The cake springs back. B. The cake smells fragrant. C. When you insert a toothpick or cake tester and it comes out clean. D. The edges pull away. And letter E. All of the above. If your answer is all of the above, you are correct. Step 6. Remove from oven and let it cool on a wire rack for about 10 minutes. Step 7. Remove the cakes from their pans and cool completely on a greased wire rack before frosting. For the preparation of chocolate frosting, in the bowl of your electric mixer or with a hand mixer, beat the batter until smooth and creamy. Add the sugar and beat until it is light and fluffy. Add the chocolate and beat on low speed until incorporated. Increase the speed to medium-high and beat until frosting is smooth and glossy. And now, it is ready to apply. We use frosting to coat the outside, also the inside layer of the cake. Buttercream can be used as a decoration of a cake. Here is the finished product. That's it. I hope you learned from this video. Let me end this video by quotation. A recipe has no soul. You as the cook must bring soul to the recipe. Thank you and God bless.